Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Leverboy. And that right there?
I am Lord Ripley to you.
Lord Ripley, every time. Okay, I got another gun for you today that my buddy Wyatt let me borrow for the channel. Now, this right here is a Chinese Type-56 SKS that was made in the Jiangxi factory, or also known as Arsenal 26 or Arsenal 21. A little confusing on that one. Okay, this baby looks like it was used, so let's go through the history of the SKS. The SKS is a Russian-made semi-automatic self-loading carbine that was introduced in 1945 by the small arms designer Sergei Semenov, 1945. The SKS was produced in the Soviet Union but was later exported and manufactured by various nations. Its distinguishing characteristics include a permanently attached folding bayonet and a hinged fixed magazine. As the SKS lacked select fire capability and its magazine was limited to 10 rounds, it was rendered obsolete in the Soviet armed forces by the introduction of the famous AK-47 in the 1950s. Nevertheless, the SKS carbines continued to see service with the Soviet border troops, internal troops, and the second line and reserve army units for decades. Hey, I like this gun. I like any gun that you can top off load, okay? And as you can see right here, this is the type of rifle that doesn't take magazines. It's got this floor plate right here. You open the bolt and you just drop some rounds inside. Now, of course, you got your stripper clips that would make it real quickly. You just use your stripper clips, but I appreciate guns that you just fire once or twice and then you can just top off load. And this is a type of rifle that you can do that with. Okay, let's continue. The SKS was a conventional layout with a wooden stock and a rifle grip. It has a gas-operated rifle that has a spring-loaded bolt carrier and a gas piston operating rod that work to unlock and cycle the action via gas pressure, exerting pressure against them. The bolt is locked to contain the pressure of the ignition of the moment of firing by tilting downwards at its rear and being held by a lug milled into the receiver. You got that? I don't. The SKS 10-round box magazine right here can be loaded either by hand or from a stripper clip. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Cartridges stored in the magazine can be removed by pulling back on the latch located forward of the trigger guard, thus opening the floor plate of the magazine and allowing the rounds to fall out. In typical military use, the stripper clips are disposable. If necessary, they can be reloaded multiple times and reused. Yeah, the stripper clips work pretty good, I think, but I feel like I would just be a top-off loader. Just shoot a few times and then open that thing and load some more down in there. Okay, the front sight has a hooded post. The rear sight is an open notch type, which is an adjustable for elevation up to 100 to 1,000 meters, 110 yards to 1,090 yards. That's a long ways. There's also an all-purpose battle setting on the sight ladder marked with this that means straight shot, set for 300 meters or 330 yards. This is attained by moving the elevation slide to the rear of the ladder as far as it will go. All military SKSs have a bayonet attached to the underside of the barrel, which is extended and retracted via a spring-loaded hinge. Okay, so right here, you just lift up on this part and you fold out and then you lift up again and it locks in place like that. Both blade and spike bayonets were produced. Spike bayonets were used on the 1949 Russian SKS-45 and the Chinese Type-56, which is right here, mid-1964 and onward, and the Albanian model 561. The Yugoslavian-made variants are the only SKS models with an internal grenade launching attachment. Okay. Got that grenade launcher attachment, do you? That's always handy. The SKS was light, simple, and considerably shorter than the Mosin Nagant. That's the famous one I've heard plenty of times, which made it easier to handle in dense foliage and urban environments. Semenov deliberately designed the SKS with loose-fitting parts, making it less likely to jam when dirty. This sounds a lot like the AK-47. Making it a lot less likely to jam when dirty, wow, this is a word for me. Making it less likely to jam when dirty or inadequately lubricated or clogged with carbon residue. This was a notable departure from the relatively tight tolerances of the previous generation of Soviet semi-automatic rifles and was also part of the design process of the AK-47. Yeah, that's what I just said. The SKS was officially designated as a carbine, although it did not fulfill the same role as the M1 carbine used in the United States. Oh yeah, we just did the M1 carbine and all about that. And more resembled a traditional infantry rifle, but both in terms of design and the role. Okay, if we take a closer look at it, we can tell this thing's been through some use, okay? And as you can tell right here on the buttstock, they got a crack, okay, that runs from here back to here. And my buddy specifically wanted me to ask everyone on here, what's the best way to fix that crack? Is it just wood glue, or is there some other technique that works the best? Please comment below on the best way to fix this crack for the rifle. Hey, look, this is a traditional stock. This sucker has top-off loading that I love so much. I don't see nothing wrong with this gun. And look, you got a pointed bayonet at the front. It's blunted right there at the end. The bayonet is blunted at the tip of it, but I'm pretty sure you could still stab something if you wanted to with this thing. And I like 7.62 by 39. I actually like it more than 5.56. And they both have their uses, I feel like. But I'm more of a close-up shooter type of guy. I'm not no distance shooter. So I always go with the heavier bullet 7.62 with a little bit more punch rather than the small, super fast 5.56. Okay, guys, that's all I got for you today. Make sure to like and subscribe, and please join me on Patreon if you'd like to support the channel. Okay, take care.